Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AMALINA binti HANAFI. My metric number is 1182587. I am from TQA 19. My topic is dealing with depression of virtual learning from SUNNAH perspective, a survey of FPQS students. For the research gap, the gap between my study and the previous study is firstly, this study emphasized ways to overcome the depression that caused by online learning due to pandemic COVID-19. This is because prior to the presence of this spreading virus, students were not exposed to effective methods and way to study online. Secondly, this study also involved method to cope with depression through sunnah taught by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which students can practice at home to curb the problem of stress when facing learning in cyberspace. Lastly, the importance of this study is also to give awareness to all students about the importance of taking steps to prevent depression because it involves the life and the mental health of students. Okay, after that, for the problem statement, as we know that the current issue that happened among students facing depression because of virtual learning and online class due to pandemic COVID-19. This is caused many students cannot study and learn face-to-face with their lecturers in terms of to decrease the spread of viruses. Students that face depression will stress out and may suffer from mental health, which may lead to unwanted things such as self-harm. However, under negative state, people get depressed and then take extreme steps such as suicide. As we understand that depression is not a simple matter that should be ignored or take easy, so we begin to see the answer to the problem and how to overcome depression during virtual learning that current happen to students. So this research is to find the answers how students can dealing with their depressions, and this is one of reason why I take this topic to be my research. After that, for the research objective, my general objective of this research is to open the eyes of students who face challenges in facing this virtual class about the importance of dealing with depression and steps that can be taken to overcome depression from Sunnah perspective. The specific objective is firstly to explain the importance of dealing with depressions. Secondly, to identify the method that used by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and lastly, to decrease the statistic of students that face depressions. For the research questions, first, what are causes of depressions that occurs to students due to virtual learning? Second, what are the impacts from the depressions that facing by students during virtual learning? Third, why it's very important to avoid depressions? And lastly, what are the methods and the most effective methods that used by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Okay, last but not least, for the methodology, this research is using quantitative research design. The purpose of this research is to open the eyes of students who face challenges in facing this virtual class about the importance of dealing with depressions and steps that can be taken to overcome depression from Sunnah perspective. For the research sample that used by this research is stratified random sampling. Instrument that used to complete this research is questionnaire. The data collection is through a survey, and the procedure in collecting data is first identify the problem and the objective or the purpose of collecting data. Secondly, follow up selecting the correct respondent with the aspect of faculty, course, year, and others. Thirdly, the most important thing in complete the data collection is using the effective strategy and making plan in advance in making sure the survey is complete and success. The preparation of letter and authorization and the appropriate accompaniment. And lastly, an equally important step is an appropriate follow-up or actions to anyone who is not responding. And data analysis for this research is a framework analysis. And lastly, the tool that used for the analysis is through a Google form. Okay. For the conclusions, this research is focused to students who facing depression during virtual learning, because during the virtual learning, students cannot face-to-face with their lecturers and their friends to communicate each other, to study groups, and this nowadays condition is not same with the previous semesters before the spreading virus of COVID-19. So I hope this research may help the many students who are facing depressions, and this research is focused to keep awareness, to give awareness to students that how important to release stress, how important to take a rest, and how important to prevent ourselves from depressions, because from depressions that will give mental will give stress and effect to our mental health, and this is not good for ourselves as a students. Thank you.